Have you ever noticed how one small touch from your spouse can instantly change the way that you feel? And that's not random. It's actually biology. Your body is wired for connection, and touch is one of the fastest ways to calm stress, rebuild intimacy, and increase trust. So today we're diving into the science behind touch, what happens in your nervous system when you reach for each other, and how to even try tiny physical moments that can shift the emotional tone in your marriage. And a big part of why we care about this work is because of what we do through Creative Restoration International, helping restore marriages and homes all around the world. So stay with us, because the last insight we share is one that most couples never think about, but it changes everything. If you've ever found yourself thinking, why do we keep having the same argument? Or why does connection feel harder than it used to? You're not alone. Welcome to Marriage, Intimacy and Healing with Andrew and Lara.
We're a husband and wife team, blending science-based coaching and clinical nervous system insight to help couples understand what's really happening underneath conflict, distance, and emotional shutdown.
I'm Lara. I'm an ICF PCC certified coach and educator.
And I'm Andrew, a licensed physical therapist specializing in body, mind, heart integration with extensive experience helping high-performing individuals navigate stress, communication, and emotional regulation.
Together, we help you recognize the patterns that pull you apart and offer practical, grounded shifts that bring you back into connection. Let's dive into today's episode. Andrew's been more intentional with touch in our marriage lately, because leading up to Christmas for me as a mum was very mental, and I had so much going on. I was in task mode and just go, go, go. And there was one moment where he just came up and gave me a hug, and not the kind of hug that's like quick in passing by, but the kind that you kind of latch onto, and allowed my nervous system, longer than 6 seconds, hug, 10 seconds, to just calm down and have a moment to say, hey, I see you. And what's so beautiful about this is that these moments of ordinary touch in a healthy marriage, or a marriage where touch feels safe for you, can shift the emotional climate in your marriage immediately.
People underestimate how powerful touch can be, and not in just a romantic way, in just how it affects the nervous system. If the only way you touch each other is always leading up to sex, or if it's only linked into, hey, I wanna go to the bedroom, then there's something missing. There's the broad range of the ways we can use touch with each other, touching each other to affect each other and to connect with each other is so much more powerful. We know, and there's research about this, how physical touch can affect someone else, and it can reduce the stress, and their breathing can change a little. So basically it has a safety effect on them, and it affects the nervous system.
And touch is a biological connector. It's not just a romantic one, and that's really what Andrew's talking about, that there is a biology to it, and there is a piece that comes to our nervous system. It's not just about romance, and I think that's a lot of us attach all touch to it's got to be romantic, but there's so much more to it. There's an emotional connection and a physical connection that you can feel together. Many couples, as the years go on in marriage, wait until they feel close to actually touch, which might surprise you. But the truth is, you actually become close by touching. The hormone oxytocin is the bonding hormone, and that is released when you touch. So there's a science to the reason that you must keep touching as long as it feels safe for you. Now, I just want to put that in context. There's some people, for whatever reason, don't like it or don't feel safe with it. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about normal marriage where you want to grow closer and have a healthy marriage.
And you want to find a balance, find what you like. I think Lara, sorry to be personal, doesn't really like touching the knee. Well, doesn't like it as a physical therapist when I just push around her kneecap.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So when I know that, I'm like, I'm not going to put my hand on her knee. I'm going to choose her thigh, or I'm going to choose her shoulder when I'm near her. So it's just something that then you can track with the person and your spouse what they like and dislike.
Yeah, but he's a physical therapist. So he's going to move the patella around, and that's just weird.
I'm just curious.
It's just weird.
No one's going to get it.
Now, here's a misconception thing that I want to talk about, that touch will happen naturally in your marriage, and nothing about an adult relationship stays natural without intention, especially touch. What maybe started as natural, you kind of think, oh, if we were still in love, we would still be natural. No, that's a misconception. So why do we stop touching in marriage? Well, it can be stress, it can be kids, that's a big one. For us. It can be resentment, it can be numbness, it can be multitasking, it can be physical exhaustion, it can be no ritual around touch at all. So creating a cycle that's like less touch equals more distance equals fewer opportunities to reconnect, and it just loops.
Yeah. When we think of the importance or the effect that physical touch has on the nervous system, on each other, on intimacy, on our connectedness, then it can seem, oh, that's strange. So it can be a litmus test, I'd call it, or a measure of like how we're dealing with some of these things. But some of it's just internally how I'm managing, and some of it's just a ritual, like Lara says. When you physically touch someone you feel safe with and that you have that connection with, your body releases oxytocin. And this is the bonding hormone. So this already changes your defensiveness and affects your nervous system that way. And just because there's an effect on that. And that's the difference, that if I touch Lara's shoulder, whatever else, or if I touch my shoulder in the same place, it's going to feel different because my brain knows it's me, not her. So there's an effect on the body, right? And this tracks with that same research that's been done on co-regulation research, to just that it brings safety. It brings a feeling of safety, and it has that effect on the body. If you feel stuck or a bit disconnected, or you're not very good with emotional intelligence and emotional awareness, I'm going to raise my hand to...
It's got better.
I'm getting a lot
over
better.
The years. Yeah.
But if you're feeling some sense of disconnected, or some sense you want a bit more connection, then simply, reach out, bring some touch into it, and it gives you the sense of safety. It brings safety feeling to your spouse, and the feeling that we're together, we're in this together.
Yeah.
So it can bring that deeper connection when you're talking about something, and the point you're talking about is hitting home, but it's hard for the person to hear it. It's that hand on the shoulder, say, honey, I'm with you. It rams it home so much more deeply.
In marriage, you're a different relationship. There is no other relationship in your life like a marriage. And if we're not careful, we kind of can go through the years and we can have a beautiful, maybe emotional connection. We can have a beautiful, maybe mental connection. But then there's the physical connection, and we want to be working on all of the different areas of connection, because as a marriage, it is a privilege and an honor to walk through life with someone. And it's the only person that you get to have the levels of physical intimacy with, as in sexual intimacy, that you can't have with anybody else, or shouldn't have, because that's marriage, with anybody else. Sewing into that matters, because it increases the bond and it increases the feeling of closeness. And we're not just talking about sex, but the reality is that's part of the conversation as well. Yeah,
because there's a difference. At work, there's a different setting, and I wouldn't relate to people like I relate to my wife, obviously. But you've got to check yourself. If most females at work, you're putting your hand on their shoulder, talking to them, it's quite an intimate thing when it's a professional relationship, right?
Yeah.
Or a neighbor or something. It's odd. It would extend
it would be
something
out of place,
different, right?
Inappropriate, yeah.
But that's different for everyone. I get it. But there's a total different setting to the way I relate to Lara than to other people in my world. And there's a distinction I'm trying to bring, right? There's almost like a different navigation you got to bring to what works with her. And you can just get out of practice. Like Lara said before, it's just what has seemed to develop in our relationship, or what's come after kids or something like that. So it's so simple that you can just step towards that and change with small little nudges what you tend to do around physical intimacy and physical touch and talking to each other.
What's so funny is every time we have a long hug, like a really long hug in front of our daughter, she always comes up and joins.
She does. And then if my son sees, he'll come and join too.
Join. And I have to watch this because my daughter naturally will come over and lie next to me and have a hug, but my son doesn't naturally do it as much. So when he does, I'm like, gold.
Yeah,
but I do come up and make sure that I put my hand on his back and give him a back tickle or something, because I think it's reminding ourselves that everybody in those closer relationships has an appreciation for those things. I did have a friend in Melbourne who was like, I hate it when my kids touch me. I'm not a touchy-feely person. I get that some people, there's a spectrum, but just knowing the science of touch, that there's more to it. Yeah. So some tools.
Do it. Yeah.
This is funny because this is going to sound weird, so bear with, but the 6-second kiss. Some of you might already do this naturally, but there's a science to this because it's long enough, the 6 seconds, research shows, to reduce stress and trigger the connection hormone. So a simple rule is, for example, it could be, I should say, a rhythm over a rule, that when you say hello or goodbye, that you try the 6-second kiss.
I like that.
Stress reduction kiss. Fantastic.
I like this tool. I'm going to use this tool.
Yes, it's long enough to shift your physiology. It's not a peck. It's not sexual, although it probably turns sexual for you. It's just a grounding, bonding moment.
If I can think of it now and there's a 6-second kiss, I feel that it will be a little bit. But I feel the point is that it shifts from just the routine of a quick peck and a, okay, let's do that and get on with my day. And it gets out of to-do mode to, I want to connect to you.
Yeah, it's really, really sweet. You can use it in the mornings, the evenings, before leaving the house, or after conflict as a reset. It forces you to pause, to breathe, to connect, to feel each other for more than just 1 second.
Yeah, yeah. So another tool, another thing you can use, like we talked about the power of touch and these things, how do we practically do it? So just for 1 minute a day, the 1 minute touch ritual of that you put your hand on your spouse's back while you're doing something together or reading something together, and you just sustain hand on back, and you both will feel physically that like we're connecting. There's something flowing between us,
Yeah.
Or it could be your hand over hand. So it's just, that hand over hand thing, and you hold it there for a good bit. And then it can be sitting close, your legs touching, sitting on the couch. So there's some practical things just to do it for 1 minute, do it for an extended time, to let that physiology, let that effect happen. You can use this whenever you're feeling a little disconnected or things are feeling tense, and you can shift the atmosphere, literally. When words are hard, you can just, touch, and or just before those important conversations, that you can bring some intimacy and bring some closeness and bring some connectedness before it happens.
So the takeaway here in this episode is that touch isn't just physical, it's emotional safety made visible in your marriage. And one thing you could ask each other is, what's one small touch we could add to our day that would help us feel closer as we go ahead, maybe for the next week? Let's just try something new. And as we start this new year, if you're listening at the start of the year, choose one simple touch ritual as a goal that signals we're in this together, and allow that to be the new thing, because people don't set enough marriage goals. They set weight loss goals, they set health goals, they set all the goals. Set a goal to improve your marriage, and it could be made practical through this little action step of we are in this together, a simple touch ritual.
You can go to andrewandlara.com, and there's the Body, Mind, Heart Shift, and that's a connection tool. You can print it out and put it on your fridge, and it brings connection to each other. It's a process to check in with yourself and check in with each other, and you can use this hand on hand 1 minute body shift tool that can, while you're doing that together.
Yeah, it's called the BMH 3-Minute Marriage Reset, and it's free for you to download at andrewandlara.com. Don't forget, whatever platform you're on, to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and share this with your spouse or a couple friend you know could do with the extra support. And if this episode encouraged you and you want to support the deeper work of what we're doing to restore marriages and lives, your support helps bring us more tools to share with you, and resources to help marriages and families all around the world. And you can head to creativerestorationinternational.com and consider becoming a supporter of our work.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. Thanks, friends. Bye. Thanks for joining us on today's Marriage, Intimacy and Healing. If this episode supported you, we'd love for you to download our free 3-minute BMH marriage reset at andrewandlara.com. It's the quickest way to shift out of stress and back into connection. And for deeper support and to explore our resources and coaching, you can find everything at andrewandlara.com.
Before you go, following the show or sharing this episode with another couple really helps more people find this kind of support. And we're so grateful when you do.
We're Andrew and Lara, and we'll see you next week.